Amazing! Amazing! Beta! He black.
Amazing! about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Wednesday already. In the third hour on Wednesdays is Manhood Hour. Rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. The biblical question for this week, an amazing biblical question. How often do you throw rocks at others? How often do you throw rocks at others? And for those who are tuning in for the very first time, the biblical questions are there for you to know thyself, to encourage you to see what's going on in you, inside of you, within you. You are your own world. When will you take responsibility for your own world? If you live from your own world, you will survive in the big world, outside world. But if you don't, it's going to be pure hell for you, as it's already is hell. Amazing, huh? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can also, if you're busy this morning, evening, or night, or early morning, it depends on where you are in the world. We are heard around the world by everybody and their mama. And so if you're busy, you can listen to the show on your iPhone, iPad, or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. And don't forget to donate and have your comments read out loud. Go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP talk, because you can't do it on YouTube right now. They don't like us. Go to BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP talk or cash.app/bond JLP. Cash.app/bond JLP. All right. Amazing. I've been paying attention for a long time now as to what's going on in my country. And prior to really starting to really pay attention, you hear about third world countries, but I never really knew how they were made. how people create third world countries. And I never understood why a massive of people would give into it and allow their country to be created or recreated into a third world country. I never understood it. And it's starting to become very clear now because what's happening in my country, America, I never imagined what happened. I used to think, wow, those people over in the third world countries, what's wrong with them? How do they allow themselves to become slave to a dictator or slave to whatever, right? It didn't make sense that human beings would allow that. But now I'm starting to see what's going on. Number one, you have to destroy the family first. You must destroy the family. Tear down that order of God and Christ, Christ and man, man over woman, and woman over children. And the love from above come down. When that's happening, when you're living from that love, it cannot happen to the family or the individual. But they have torn down the family to the point that there's little or no mention about the family. And especially about the man being the head of the wife and the children, the family. Little or no mention about it. Once in a while you hear about it. So they destroyed the family. And then they made the woman feel, because they knew, when I say they, your leaders, the government, the civil rights movement and others, the NAACP, people that you make your leaders, they knew that they could brainwash the woman because she's on an ego trip. Satan is her God. And so she's all emotional and her whole life is spent trying to make the world rotate around her. The children, she tried to force the husband, everything to be about her. Everything about me, 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 me. My children, the mothers say, either you got to obey mama or you got to catch pure hell to mama. And so the outside forces understood the forces inside the women, and they stroked the ego of the woman, same way the serpent did with Eve. And they told the woman, especially black women, but not only, but especially, they said, you could be equal to your husband. Don't let that man be over you. You can get an education. You could be a leader. You could be queen. You could be this. And they told the woman, we got to take care of you. We got to build daycare centers. We got to have after-school care. And they give it these nice sounding names. We got to have this for you. You don't need a man. And oh, by the way, kill the baby inside the womb, and so you don't have to take off work. And if you don't kill the baby, we're going to make sure the man, if you happen to have one, will stay home with you after you have the baby. He'll take pregnancy time off as well. And they totally stroked the ego of the woman. And now they have and are completely replacing the men with the woman in every area of life. And they have worked against the man in the court system, the schools, the home, to defeat him. And unfortunately, the average man is defeated. They can't handle anything. They don't overcome issues of life. They sit back now and carry on about the issues of life like the female does while she goes out to work. And so they tell the women, you know what, you go to work. We got the kids. We're going to send them to school. And we're going to have daycare center after school. We're going to prepare lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You just stay at work. We got this. And then the father has no say-so. Because if he say, no, I don't want my child there, he become abusive. They go to court and they take kids from the man. He has no say-so. And they tell the woman, you know what? Don't worry, we got this. And the woman love it because her ego is being boosted. She feel like she's equal to a man. And so while at school, they're telling the kids, you know what, accept this, accept that, accept this, hate America, equality, equity. The white man is bad. All kind of stuff, right? And then they take the kids out to protest with them on feminist issues, LGBTQ issues, whatever. The kids are out supporting it. And the parents don't care because now their ego is being stroked. And that's more important than what's happening to the children. And then they tell the one race that another race is superior to them. They try to control you. And so the fight is on. And what it all adds up to, you're being brainwashed. And anyone that has anger, first of all, you have anger, you're already brainwashed. And then it's easy for the world people of the world to come in and add to the brainwashing. Because they're stroking your ego, you're being brainwashed. The media supports it, and the world goes to hell in a handbasket and become a socialist society. And now you have dictators leading you. You're being brainwashed. And then a man like the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, comes along, and he's about making your outer life work. He's working for you. I'm going to close the border, keep the illegals out, which will bring down crime and drugs and everything. I'm going to, and then stop the people from taking your job for little or nothing. I'm going to bring back jobs. You can drill. You can make good money. You can do this. I'm going to make sure the criminals go to jail. He is your public servant. And what do? They hate the one man that is working for you and not against you. He's not about me, as they are. And they try to destroy him. And this is both Republicans and Democrats and everybody along the way. Media, anyone that don't want you to know that you're being brainwashed. I was watching some stupid reports, and they was asking them minorities. And these were supposed to be, some of them was like Republican people, asking them about what do you want from the election? What do you expect? Who do you vote for? And they were using the word minorities over and over again. The language is the same. And then they tell the churches, men, you better let the woman preach. And they tell the woman, you're equal to the man. God called you. Lying about God, right? Stroking her ego again. And now she want to get in the pulpit to become a preacher. Want to lead men for her own ego purposes. And the government and others support her in that because they got a brainwash. And if you notice, the language of the church is the same as the language of the secular world. They use words like minorities and this and that and all the same language, the language of evil. I absolutely remember a time when the language of evil and the language of the church were different. It's the same now, same words. You're being brainwashed. And they push emotions like 90 going north. Just imagine men have allowed women over the years to convince them that they should be emotional. The problem with them is that they are not allowed to be emotional. And the men go, oh, my emotions. I want to be emotional. I want to feel helpless or whatever word they use. It's the same thing. They go up to the mountain to cry. You're being brainwashed. And as a result of being brainwashed, and they test you too. They say a tornado is coming. Hurricane Hillary is coming. Get ready. And then the news reporter, weather reporters on all channels, that's all they push all day long. They be even when they're talking about the news on the sideline, you can see the weather, how bad it is, according to what they're reporting. And you panic. And you run to the stores, the grocery stores and the gasoline stores, and you buy up everything. You're being brainwashed, and they go, yes. You're being brainwashed, folks. You're being controlled. And then if there's one person in the crowd that doesn't panic, they think something wrong with you. You don't think we should get ready for an emergency? You don't think we should do this? What were you doing in the good old days when you didn't have the media to do this? Hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes have always been around. It's nothing new. And then while you're panicking, they say, we need climate change. We're going to make it climate change. And y'all better buy an electric car. You're being brainwashed. It's the same way that husbands and wives treat one another. It's the same way that mothers treat their children. It's the same way that children are now acting toward the parents. It's the same. And you can't see it. You're being brainwashed. And so they go after a man like Donald Trump. One guy come along, let's call him Jesus. And Jesus said, you know what? I bring you a new order. I bring you a new life. I bring to you a new reality to love one another and don't hate. When someone tried to offend you, turn the other cheek and let them offend that cheek. Don't fight back. It's spiritual. I bring you a new order to seek first the kingdom of God in the right way, and all be added. And what they have done to the new order, the new reality inside, they have preached against it to the point that most people don't even know it exists. And when they're still waiting for Jesus to come. They're still waiting for the new world. They're waiting to be captured up, or something they call it. They're waiting out in the fields and the roads and the highways and the byways to be taken up. Rapture, they call it. They're waiting for the blinking of an eye, they say. That Jesus is going to come back in the blinking of an eye, and he's going to capture us and take us back. Rapture. They don't know it's already done. Even though Christ said, and they talk about the blood, the cross. Is at the cross. It's on the cross. And they have all these Christian soft female words about the cross. And when you speak about the cross, it feels so good. And it's just an idea. It's done and they don't know it. One man comes along, Donald Trump, and everybody, a lot of the voters know, but most people go against him. But I guarantee you, if Donald Trump was about I, me, I'm going to do this, and I'm like this, and I understand your pain, and I'm this, they'll love him. if he was a part of the group. It's the same way in the home. If one kid come through the mother, born from the mother, but that kid, whether boy or girl, loved the father, close to the father, or even look like the father, that kid gonna catch hell from mama, pure hell. And mama make the other kids look like they're better than that one kid, and they'll join forces with her. And they'll go and try to destroy that kid. Why you treat mama like this? Why are you closer to daddy and not mama? She built an army against them in the same way it's been built against Donald Trump, and in the same way it's going to be built against you when you overcome the world. It's just the spiritual way. Evil hates good, and good do not like evil as well. And good work through a handful now, evil work through majority. You're being brainwashed. Washington Journal is reporting that. This is from the Washington Journal. CNN host Jake Tapper, uttered the actual words, "Trump was right." And he said this on air. Watch this from CNN.
Hunter Biden admitted in court in July that he was in fact paid substantial sums from Chinese companies. Kessler wrote, Hunter Biden reported nearly $2.4 million in income in 2017 and $2.2 million in income in 2018, most of which came from Chinese or Ukrainian interests. But this directly goes against what Joe Biden said in the debate in 2020 with Donald Trump. Take a listen.
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about what are you talking about? China.
Once you
None of that
Vice
is
President,
true.
He made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
Trump was right. I mean, he did make a fortune from China, and Joe Biden was wrong. I don't know that he was lying about it. He might not have been told by Hunter, but this blind spot is a problem.
It's a problem, one, because Republicans aren't going to let it go. That's for sure.
Does it concern you as a Democrat?
Well, I think dads have sometimes, and parents sometimes have blind spots about their kids, for sure, and the president may be no exception. But nothing has tied the president to any of Hunter Biden's dealings. There's no whiff of him being involved or him being implicated in it.
Amazing, huh? A spiritual battle. You're being brainwashed. And anyone that has anger, first of all, you're already brainwashed because you can't see. And then the children of the lie pile on for their own personal gain. First, to get a false sense of life, even though they're walking dead spiritually, and to get finance and whatever else. It's interesting. Believe me, I'm black and slow, so all this stuff is totally interesting to me. To watch my country be recreated into a third world country. That's amazing. You see how those people responded? The guy gave them the evidence, and the dumb female said, "Oh, it's because the Republican won't let them forget." Amazing. Breitbart reported over 800 people are missing in the aftermath of the wildfire in Hawaii, Maui, as the death toll reaches 115 people. And they talk about equity with the water and all kinds of stuff. In the United States of America, you're being brainwashed. My country is every day, all the time now, quickly becoming a third world country. I just never imagined. And I saw one report on one of the channels, and I don't know how true it is, but it sure is possible, that down at the borders, you know how the Great White Hope, Donald Trump put up the wall. He didn't finish it because the time ran out and they were making it difficult. But he put the wall. They have now cut 3 or 4 parts of the wall open, and illegal just coming through that. And they pretend they cut it open so the deers or somebody can run into Mexico or into the United States or both. But they did it to let the people in to get votes and to create total chaos for the American citizen so that they can fight one another. And while they're fighting, they're creating these rules. 800 are still missing. There's no rush to find them. And they claim that they love the children, but it's been reported a lot who are missing in the fire as a result of the fire are children. Children, and this is in the United States of America, States of America. Can we say, Mommy Africa, hello? I just never knew how at one time I didn't know how another human being would put another human being over them and make them their leader. I now understand that clearly. I just never understood how a whole country can be turned into a third world country. And I never imagined it could happen in America. I used to think that people really love freedom in America. I thought that. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. Americans do not love freedom. And you hear these dumb people running for running for president, those that are going to be on the stage tonight. They use the word, like America. You can do whatever you love. I love America. I grew up poor. I grew up in a one-room house. The patriotism, it's just words. It has no meaning. How is that going to help us? The border's wide open. They believe racism exists. They go after the white man because they heard he is racist, and they took down a Confederate flag. But they got all these words that means nothing. And it's dumb Nikki Haley. I'm going to get it, whatever. I'm tough. I'm going to help the minority. I'm a woman. Really, it has no meaning. And Tim Scott, ridiculous how he's... and the vice president running, whatever his name is, just a weak and beta and turned against Trump. And anyway, can you imagine 800 people missing in the fire in the aftermath? And then the people go down to try to pretend they can try to find them. They stand in major hotels and living it up. There should be a rush. If 800 are still missing, where are they? And instead, Joe Biden go down a week later, I believe. I may be wrong on the date, but I think a week later. And what is he talking about? My house got burned, and I almost lost my wife, my dog, I believe he said dog, and car. It was about him. I have that for you when I come back. You're being brainwashed. Your country is being turned into a third world country. And once it dies, there's no coming back from it. 888-7753-773. Quick break. A line open. Back in a moment. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage That's why I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame scam, how the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663. Okay, welcome back. 888-77-53773. 888-77-JESSE. JESSE. Quick announcement. The Hake. The Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning, Monday through Friday, right after my show, James Hake, from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. The Hake report. Get ready. He's on fire. And listen up. As you know, we're building this 24-hour talk radio network. We have a brand new edition. And it's starting today, right after the Hake report, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Watch this.
Be still and know I'm here. Perfect love casts out all fear. Love is not emotion, love is not a feeling. Love is forgiving, true healing. Humans judge vices, God judge the heart. Overcome the world, that part. Now we got perfect peace, everything we ever need. Kill the ego before it kills me. Let the true me be free. All thoughts are lies, man, it's in your head. 7 deadly sins, you the walking dead. Purified, fly like a dove. The absence of hate, love.
Yeah, we're going to walk on water this year. And Hassan said on the moon, walking on water.
Wow. At 11 a.m. today. Wow. Walking on water. Hassan and his dog. So get ready. At 11 a.m. Wednesday. You do not want to miss it. Amazing, huh? And after Hassan today, at 12 noon, the American anchor baby, flying high, but not on pot, on the real energy that comes from within. The American anchor baby is giving back what God has given him. He said, thank you to America. Every day, the American anchor baby at 12 noon. You don't want to miss it, all right? It's amazing. Busy day today. So let me just finish up this, and then I get to your phone calls and your super chats. You're being brainwashed. I want you to think about this. So they had the fire in Hawaii, United States of America. And it took, according to reports, Joe Biden days to go down there. They say he was vacationing. Joe Biden, I ain't got time to go. I ain't got time to go to no fire. What the? Let the little fire happen. I'm on vacation. And the people are like, no, where is Joe? No, no, no. Where is Joe? And finally he showed up. And guess what he talked about? His little fire. They said it happened in the kitchen, and it wasn't a big deal. This is from the Business Insider. Joe Biden met with survivors of the Maui wildfire on Monday. He told them that he could relate to them because he knew what it was like to lose a home to a fire. Watch this from X.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday, and lightning struck at home on a little lake. It's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat.
Amazing, huh? Nothing about, let us pray. You know, there's been a black president, they'd be like, let us pray. Nothing. He talked about the fire that happened in his home years ago. While 800 people are missing in the aftermath of the fire. He said, I like him. He's so relatable. What the? Isn't that amazing? And he said it almost burned down his home. But according to Breitbart report, an article on the fire from 2004 called it small, and that contained to the kitchen. It was under control in 20 minutes, according to the fire company chief. But he was like, oh, my house almost burned down. My wife, my dog, my car. You're being brainwashed. And there is no way that you cannot be brainwashed until you overcome the anger. You must go and forgive. Don't ask for forgiveness. You forgive. I was wrong. And if they have any decency in them, they'll let it go anyway. But if they don't, it's on them at that point. You forgive. God will forgive you and give you a clear mind. You will start to see who's really been controlling you and that it was never you. Can you imagine Joe Biden down in Hawaii, right at the fire where it looked like? And you talk about a little fire that happened in the kitchen, 2004. While there could be possible dead bodies all around him in the United States of America. What would have happened had the Great White Hope been president and he went down there and talked about a little fire in his kitchen? It would be headline news until the election was over. Until the election was over. It doesn't seem like Joe Biden even knows that a fire happened, to be honest. He's like, if somebody had said, hey, Joe, stop it. A fire happened. Look around. What fire? You're being brainwashed. Another example of being brainwashed with no evidence. That's what's so crazy, and I understand it. There are people in my country, in my America, that really believe with no proof, zero proof, literally zero proof, that racism exists or that white supremacy exists. There is no proof of it, zero proof. But the brainwashing happened, and it's being reminded and pushed on you every day, and you believe it. So you ask, well, where's your proof? Your proof that racism or white supremacy exists. They can't find any. But yet they believe it. You're being brainwashed. You're being brainwashed. They tell you that the women, you can have abortion. Your husband ain't got nothing to say about it. It's your body, your choice. And the women believe it. And never part with it. My body, how did I create this body? How come I have the okay to kill the man's baby, but he has no say-so in it? They told us her body, her choice, built her ego. She believed it. You're being brainwashed. Your country is being turned into a third world country. They told the women, the hell with the children. You go and be like a man. You equal to the man. Same way the serpent told Eve. And let the kids, don't worry, we'll cut off the body parts of the kids or whatever. The kids know better than you. Don't worry about it. And then the mother pretend to care when they really don't. And they go out and they put on a fake protest and they get in the media so they can feel good about seeing themselves in the media. No, nothing. They go back home, quit those stupid jobs and watch over the man's children at home. It'll be over with. You're being brainwashed. When will you wake up? When? How many shots do you need in your life to wake up? How much more fear do you need in your life in order to wake up? I'm just asking. Your life is never going to get better until you take control of it. As an individual, not in a group thinking. And overcome all of your ideas, your brainwashing about life. You've been brainwashed the moment you pop out of mama's womb. You got to be competitive. You got to be like. You need this and you need that. You got to go to school. You got to go to the best school. You got to get a career. You got to do this. You got to have the biggest house. You have to have more money. You have to become the most popular person. You've been brainwashed. You've been set up and you're still miserable. Whereas the truth tells you, you got to let go and don't be like anyone or anything or anyone. Don't have any ideas. Don't have any plans. Simply live your life. Don't compete. Don't try to be like anyone else. Love your enemy and live. But if you're brainwashed, it's hard to let the brainwashing go, even though you're suffering. You got to get married. You got to have a family. That'll bring you happiness, and it only brings hell. What a mess! It's a spiritual battle, a warfare between good and evil, and it's inside of you. It's not outside of you. Your fear that you have, it's inside of you. How did it get there? Amazing, huh? I'm typing a note here, and it's amazing. Let me go to the phones, and then we get to your super chats and everything. Owen is a first time caller out of Australia. Owen, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, sir.
I was just calling in to say, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your advice. I listened to what you said about forgiving and apologizing to my mum and my father. I did that, and I just want to say thank you. It's hard to kind of explain the feeling.
Yeah.
I know there's a long way to go, but honestly, it's I can't explain. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. What did your mother say when you went and forgave her?
At first, she was kind of stunned, and then we kind of spoke a little bit, and she kind of, I would explain like little things that I could remember where I'd either done something or something had been done, and then we kind of both just understood like it wasn't really anyone's fault, but that doesn't mean that I can't. Yeah, doesn't mean I can't say, look, I know you did that, but like I don't care. Like we can move forward and just be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice. And how about your father?
He was a bit more silent, but he at the end he was quite grateful. He doesn't really speak much as it is, but the air and the tension that has been between us has disappeared. I found myself to be more calmer and less talkative and trying to fill space when I'm around him.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, no, thank you so much, honestly. It's amazing. Yeah, thank you.
And one last thing before you leave. Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Yes, sir. It took me a while to really get into it, but the last 3 nights I've been doing it before bed and doing it in the morning. I have to remind myself before we jump into the world. Let's just focus, remember what we're doing and where we're trying to go, and get rid of all the thoughts before they arrive and leave the door.
Well, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, and watch those thoughts. All you have to do is watch, go about your day, and sit at the gate of the thoughts and just watch. It's going to be amazing. You haven't seen anything. Stay with it, man.
Thank you very much. You two have a gorgeous day, mate.
You too, buddy. Thank you. Your enemy is within. And it's without, inside of others too, but it's not, other people are not your enemy. It's their enemy driving them to make you be, to create an enemy. It's up to you. It's so amazing how everything you think is wrong. All thoughts are truly all lies all the time. And everyone is suffering because they're into thoughts. And they run deep, layers and layers and layers of lies of thoughts. You've been trained. You've been brainwashed. And that's why they can do it in the country. Create a socialist society. They can convince people that you don't really like freedom. They can convince human beings in a free country, you don't like freedom. Come on, be enslaved. That's better. We'll take care of you. Your enemy is within you and within America. They don't have to go outside and find no Allah Abba people, bring them in. It's already here. The American people will destroy their own country and become slaves. In the physical sense, they're already slaves spiritually, psychologically. Super chat. Super.
Super chats.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
I am going to listen to your show so I can judge it.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that.
I like your little opening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We got to fix the audio a little bit. Sorry about that, but yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be making history.
Nice.
Nice. Who are those people you up there bowing head with rapping?
Oh, that was me, Dame Dash, and Ye, formerly known as Kanye West.
Nice. The Dame Dash is the guy I saw on the plane, right, with the dog?
With the dog, yeah.
Who let the dogs out? Well, okay.
And that's why, I had to wear the shirt today.
Oh,
although there
yeah.
will be a big wardrobe change. So get suited and booted at 11 a.m.
Nice.
Amazing. So Hassan's show today at 11 a.m. We are building this network come hell or high water. And thank you all for helping us. Super chat.
Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, Chill and Lean bought a coffee. Amazing Joel show yesterday.
Yeah.
Joel Friday TV on YouTube.
If you missed Joel, he's here every Tuesday. If you missed him yesterday, podcast it. It was amazing.
He said
Joel Friday TV.
It got Chill and Lean thinking about the snow bunny situation. Whatever that is. I think I kind of know. On a scale of Kanye West to Dr. Umar Johnson, where are you on black men exclusively dating non-black women?
Breaking down the question.
Okay, so Kanye West only dates non-black women. Dr. Umar Johnson is totally against interracial marriage. He's for black men dating only black women.
Play that.
Or else. So what are you? Are you more Umar Johnson or are you more Kanye West in terms of that?
I'm neither. I now understand the question. I know that the only reason that people date or marry outside their own race is that they hate their mothers. And they're trying to get away from the spirit of their mothers, not realizing that they are attracted to the same spirit. And it doesn't matter what color the woman is until you overcome mama by forgiving her, your mother by forgiving her. Every woman you get involved with will be the spirit of the mother. But if you didn't have that anger toward your mother, you're more likely to marry into your own race. Not your own race, but own color. Right? But you hate what you try to get away from what you hate, but you always end up with what you hate. So that's what it's all about. Amazing. Thank you, though.
Over on Cash App, Bond JLP on Cash App.
Bond cash.app/ Bond JLP.
That works.
Thank you.
Adrian Dargan said giving, and it's a generous donation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sir or ma'am. Adler says, thank you for all you do.
Amazing. Thank you.
Latine.
And thank you for helping, too, to make it possible.
EFF. Joe Biden says, Latin A in Cali, thanks you. Nice.
Thank you.
Daniel Lemmer says, JLP FTW, which stands for the win, not forget the world. For the win. JLP for the win. Nice.
Thank you. Amazing. I got to take a break.
Okay.
Thank you all so much. Right. 2 more hours to go. We will finish up on the other side of this break. Hake news right now. Not the fake news, but the Hake news. I'll be back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
The Rhino debate's supposed to happen tonight. Will it get interesting and have Larry Elder in it? I don't know. I do not know. The Maui mess rebuilding, going to be expensive because it's expensive to build in Hawaii, apparently. And what's the mainstream media saying about the China virus? We shall hear about it on Hake News. And congrats to India on being the 4th country to land on the moon's south pole. That's cool. Send Vivek over there, right? Vivek Ramaswamy to the moon, Vivek. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for hour 2. Jesse Lee will be right back to your calls and the rest of the Super Chats and more, and some great stories and cool monologues, of course. But first, Hake News, not fake news. There is one line open. You can call in during the Hake News. 888-77-JESSE, 1-888-775-3773. The Rhino debate and the Trump-Tucker interview. Calming Nonsense Network, CNN reports 8 Rhino candidates set to participate in the first 2024 Republican presidential primary debate tonight in Milwaukee. I think that's Wisconsin. I forgot to check. I'm pretty sure it is. Former president, our greatest, Donald J. Trump, the front-runner for the party's nomination, is not only skipping the first debate of the season, he's also attempting to wrangle the spotlight away from the event, which I don't know who's going to watch it. Going to watch the Rhinos talk, unless Larry's there. With a pre-recorded interview Trump has with fired former Fox News host Tucker Carlson, expected to be released around the same time as the debate. I know that'll be interesting. I can't imagine it not being interesting. Trump's GOP rivals are set for a 2-hour debate hosted by Fox News, Faux News, to start at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Per his Twitter account, Larry Elder predicted he will be on stage as he's threatening legal action against the establishment Rhino National Committee, run by Mitt Romney's lame-o niece, Ronna McDaniel, and the mainstream media trying to shut him out. What a mess. Maui Reconstruction. Reconstruction, isn't that a communist buzzword that harkens back to the post-slavery days? Supposedly post-slavery. CNN reports the devastating wildfires in Hawaii that killed at least 115 people, maybe double that, not sure, have caused up to $6 billion in economic losses per new estimates from Moody's RMS, risk management models. More than 2,200 structures were damaged or destroyed. 2,170 acres have been burned as a result of the Lahaina wildfire in Maui, per FEMA and the Pacific Disaster Center. About 75% of the losses will be covered by insurance because of the island's high insurance penetration rates. Yikes, whatever that means. I guess a lot of people get insurance there. According to the risk modeling agency Moody's RMS. Most of the losses are concentrated in Lahaina, Moody's said, where insured property value ranged from $2.5 billion to $4 billion, I guess, in total. Beyond the incalculable emotional toll from the fires, experts also say Maui's rebuilding effort will be so expensive because construction costs about 44% more in Hawaii compared to the mainland United States. Huh. What's the mainstream media saying about the China virus? Remember that thing? It may be time, says CNN, to break out those masks again to protect yourself from a recent uptick in China virus cases. According to a growing number of experts, quote unquote, there were about 4 new hospital admissions for every 100,000 people nationwide in the week ending August 12th, considered to be a low considering per CDC thresholds. But 85 counties in the United States were in the median threshold range. About a quarter of those counties were in Florida, where old folks are and some fat people, not sure. Be careful. The growing number of hospitalizations has also triggered concern among medical professionals who say high-risk groups should increase precautions due to the highly mutated variant BA.2.86. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
Somewhere in the and to stand up strong. Face the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show already. Manhood hour is coming up in the third hour. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question, for this week. My biblical question, how often do you throw rocks at others? How often do you throw rocks at others? Amazing question, right? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're busy this morning, this evening, this night, whatever time zone you're in around the world, you can listen to the show while you're doing whatever you're doing. On your iPhone or iPad, you can podcast later, but you can listen by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500. Whether you're at a beach or in a near-miss airplane crash because of affirmative action, or you're trying to swim across the borders, you're buying some fentanyl, you're smoking pot on the street, whatever. You can listen on your iPhone or iPad, all right? 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us, Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram and JLP Talk on Twitter. Ring the bell, hit the like button, subscribe. Y'all know what to do better than I do. What the? And to donate and get your super chats read out loud, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or cash.app/bond JLP. Cash.app. Because you can't do it. Cash.app/bond JLP. You can't do it on YouTube right now. They don't like us, and they like everyone. Amazing. Let me go to Lauren out of Sweet Home, Alabama. Lauren, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. I was just calling in to give you an update on the advice you gave me.
Okay.
I am working on forgiving my mother. Well, I did forgive my mother, and it just got to the point that I feel it's best not to talk to them because they try to bring me in a place that I don't need to be in as I'm overcoming,
right?
That bad spirit of anger.
Yes.
I talked to my dad. I confessed to him that I don't remember what happened to me when I was younger, and I let him hear our interview, and he was just so happy. And it's just been a blessing because, oh my God, it's just been a blessing. Other than that, I also took your advice to get my vehicle back from my daughter's dad, and it sells today, so that's another blessing.
Amazing.
And the silent prayer is something that I do with my daughter. She loves the amazing thing that you say. So she watches with me as well, and I'm just grateful for the change that you have. It's just been a blessing, and it's changing my life. It's changing my daughter's life. And I just don't want her to have to grow up and forgive me. So Becoming who I'm supposed to be in Christ is where I'm at. I've let go of my addictions, which was smoking that I held on to for like 16 years, and I'm only 28, so imagine that. And I no longer have that desire to do it. Although sometimes temptation does come in my mind, I resist that thought, and I stay busy with other things. So I just thank you so much for the change that you motivated me to do for myself.
Well, you definitely sound better. You sound clearer. Right on. Are you doing? What did your mother say when you went to her and forgave her?
She was basically had no words, and as long as I can do what I'm supposed to do and forgive her, that's all I can do.
That's right.
It's always like a pity party that she wants, and she went through some things. Like, it's a generational thing. Her mom didn't care for her properly. But I don't want to use that as an excuse. I'm an overcomer of my past, and I don't want to hold on to it. So I'm living in the present day, and it's just a whole new way that I look at life. And putting God first when I make decisions is just, I helped my daughter's dad as best as I could, and now it's time to cut the ties and put myself first. So that's the journey that I'm on.
Yeah, and just realize you can't help him. He needs to be leading you, not you leading him. You work on you. Stay with that. Are you doing the prayer every morning, every night?
We haven't been doing it every morning, every night. I do get on my knees every morning and every night. I'm trying to get in the schedule of, I do talk to her and tell her how to relax her body in order to open up to receive it. The first time we did it, we actually fell asleep. So it was just so relaxing and therapeutic. But it is something that I do have to get in the cycle of doing every day because she's homeschooled. So I do have the ability to do that. So I'm going to try to make that the next thing that I get myself in the cycle of doing is putting that in my everyday routine.
And make sure you do, because now that you're waking up, you got some light you can see. Satan does not want to depart from you, and he's going to work overtime inside of you to try to convince you that, oh, no, this is not going to work. Don't do it. Don't do it. He doesn't want to depart from you. He lives in human beings. He dwells in human beings. So you must do it, all right? And stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. What were you on your knees for?
That's just how I wake up and do my prayers in the morning. Just to thank God and just the healing that I'm receiving. It's just, I don't know, like that's just the humblest way that I can do it is just bowing, before God and going into prayer, which is what I've been taught, along the way. But the way that you showed me, the way that I learned in the silent prayer was it is so much more relaxing. So I do want to get in the habit of that. But I have to break my old habits in order to get there. So
yeah, I understand.
That's what I'm going to work on.
Yeah, because to be humble is to let go and stop trying to change your own life. We can't change life. We have to live life. We can't change it, right? So keep getting on your knees and doing your little hooping and hollering, and and begging the Lord. And when you're finished, get up and be still. And your body will relax because you've been so stressed out for so long in your life, trying to make things work. And now you're letting go so that that stress of the body is coming down on you. And eventually you will not operate under stress. It will be outside of you, but it won't be inside of you, and you'll be free. So do both until you see the right way to go, for sure.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Peterson. I love you, and like I said, I'm so grateful for all you've done for me, and in that little time frame, I can definitely see the change that happens when you actually listen and apply it to your life.
Yes. Stay with it, stay with it. You haven't seen anything yet. It gets clearer and clearer and clearer, and the love of the Father, the light of the Father will guide you all the way, all right?
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for the update. That's amazing.
It is. Thank you.
Tell your daughter.
Have a great day.
Tell your daughter I said amazing.
Can you tell her? Yeah, let her. Let to hear it. Oh my gosh, she's so happy.
All right.
Claire. Guess who's on the phone? Jesse Lee, come here. He's going to tell you something. You want to say it for him first, or you want him to say it to you? Say it. Amazing. Amazing.
Amazing. What's her first name?
Thank you so much, Jesse. We appreciate you.
What is her first name?
It's Paris.
Paris.
Yes, sir.
Amazing. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with it. All right.
Yes, sir. We'll do that.
Amazing. Thank you. It doesn't take, really, you can change just like that at the twinkling of an eye if you didn't have so many identities. But because we all have so many identities, we've been taught to have them, and we think it's us, it's hard to let them go. But once you start dropping them layer after layer after layer after layer, you're like happy to let them go. And you start to see that you're not your identities. 888-7753-773. There's a line open. I want to finish up with the super chat we started on, and we ran out of time. Super chat.
Super chats.
You didn't turn it off, right? There. Nope. Oh, amazing. Let's finish those that we started with.
Okie dokie. Over on Cash App.
I like your shirt.
You like my shirt? Yeah, it's the Great Black Hope t-shirt.
Amazing.
JCLeePeterson.com. You can find yours on the rebuildingtheman.com/stores.
Nice.
And it's a design from Lock Your Door.
Lock Your Door.
Nice.
Lock Your Door is amazing.
Nice for the debates tonight.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is Trump going to be in the debate?
No, he's going to be his interview with Tucker Carlson, pre-recorded, will release around the same time as the debate, per reports.
Nice.
So check that out.
Amazing.
I know the debate. Who wants to watch the debates if Larry Elder's not there?
Right.
We'll see. Maybe he will be there.
Because I have no interest in watching the debate at all. And then I heard that Larry Elder's going to be there. Larry going to be there. I'm like, well, I'm going to watch it then. And then I heard he's not going to be there. I'm like, forget it.
Right.
Because I already know what the other sorry people are about.
I put rhinos for debate in the folder. Look at this group of people. If you can show that there.
It's a mess.
It has Mike Pence, Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, Fat Rhino Chris Christie, Asa Hutchinson, whoever that is. I've heard of him. Tim Scott, the Black Rhino, and this one guy, Doug Burgum.
Amazing.
Terrible.
And
it's just boring lineup.
They show Vic Maswapa getting ready for the debate.
Yeah.
I guess he's been working out all week with his wife. They were showing him every side with her. I'm like, what a beta. What a millennial.
Terrible. Is his wife Indian at least? Like he is?
I don't know. I didn't see her face close up, but they showed them doing these jump up, jump back down, push up, jump up, jump back down, push up, beta workout.
Yeah.
They showed that.
It's not beta.
What?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
I said it's not beta.
Why you say that?
It's beta to be showing it and then doing it with your wife.
A grown man running for president, working out with his wife.
Makes me want to spit. Oh, I have my spittoon.
We're like those preachers allowing their wives to become preachers.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
Embarrassing.
Anyway, super chat.
Okay, we left off with Sharon. Sharon says Monday or on Monday. Nice, thank you. Oh no, I guess that's when it came in. And no comment from the Cash App, Bond JLP Cash App. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Amazing.
Robert says, thanks for being a voice in the wilderness.
Thank you.
Richard Hamill gave a Cash App, no message.
Cash.app/BondJLP. Thank you.
Deontay says, Trump, Larry Elder, 2024. Thoughts?
That would be an amazing ticket. Trump and Larry Elder. And so Trump, since he already been on the inside, he knows all the devils now. He'll go in and he'll straighten it out really well. And then when his term is up, Larry steps in as president. It's all over but the shouting. I don't feel no age terror, but that would be an amazing, that would be a gift from God. Hopefully it'll happen. Who knows? Thank you.
On buymeacoffee.com.
Buymeacoffee.com.
/JLP Talk.
/JLP Talk.
Stet bought 3 coffees. You're amazing. Keep spreading the truth.
Amazing. Thank you.
Carver bought a coffee. How am I supposed to get any work done when you guys keep adding new shows? I know how you feel. You'll figure. I know we can find a way, Carver.
How am I supposed to live when the best part of me was always you? Amazing. Thank you. I don't know, but thanks.
Being enlightened till I rise on Rumble, gave a Rumble rant. Moanin', gentlemen, was just saluting the Confederate flag while escape. Oh, I guess I shouldn't show it. While escaping a BLM raid.
You're so evil.
Who, me?
No, you.
What? While escaping a BLM raid, when I realized I'm walking down a spiritual gravel road throwing rocks at everything.
That's a response to the biblical question?
Yeah, apparently so.
Thank you.
So he continues. Oh, you can read the
biblical question. How often do you throw rocks at others?
Being enlightened till I rise with another Rumble rant. Yes, I throw rocks like it's going out of style. But I also realize that the devil is the one handing them to me, and I gotta let God stay my hand, I think.
Amazing. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you for responding.
Also, Hassan's rap had me walking on my water.
That's right. Hassan will be walking on water today at 11 a.m. right after the HakeReport.com. 11 a.m. Pacific time. And when Hassan and his dog cross over from the water, you're back on land and about to fly with the anchor, baby.
2 S's in Hassan. Hassan. Walking on Water Hassan on YouTube.
Amazing.
Nice.
Thank you.
And Biden makes me itch with a crunchy face emoji. Bought a coffee. The question for Jesse, this question is for Jesse and Hake. But Hake first, then Jesse, please. Let me ask. Ask! When Jesus said the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak, what did he mean? Thank you. Well, Hake has to answer first. He meant that you want to stay awake but you can't. I guess. Because he was talking about the disciples who fell asleep. They couldn't keep watch even 1 hour while he prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane.
Yeah.
Not you, Siri.
He went to pray to the Father.
Yeah.
Not to himself.
Right.
But to the Father.
Correct.
There must be a Father somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
If the Son going to pray to him.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I think that maybe the body's lazy and you have to rely on the spirit to keep the body going, maybe. So that's what I think. Now, JC.
The body is subject to evil. And it controls the sleep and everything else, while the Spirit of God is willing to save you from the body. Amazing. Just to add to what he said, because he's right about that. You hear a lot of people say, oh, when I first meditate, when I first do the silent prayer, I fall asleep because all the stress of the body start to come down on you. But the body is subject to evil, where the light want to guide you, but most people are subject to the body because they think they are their body. It's amazing. Thank you.
Evgeny Crosby with a couple of diamonds here on D Live. Support Jesse on other platforms because YouTube don't want to play with us anymore.
YouTube don't like me. They like everyone. So if you think that you want to hear more, go to cash.app
/ Bond JLP.
Bond JLP. Or rebuildingtheman.com, or just Rebuilding the Man, right? They can make donations there too.
Rebuildingtheman.com / rebuildingtheman.com. You can donate there. Those are tax deductible.
Yeah,
by the way.
Rebuildingtheman.com. Thank you.
Yeah, the coffees and the super chats are not.
Right.
Superman's daddy bought a coffee. Good morning, men. Keep up the good work, Jesse. Whatever happened to tea in Alabama? Happy Men's History Month, fellas.
Thank you. That's right. Happy Men's History Month. I guess he's still in Alabama. What the?
Jesse.
Thank you. And
someone bought 5 coffees. Thank you for all the great advice you give every day. Read this on air, please.
Thank you.
Superior Dave is Jesse Lee Pedersen favorite listener. The best listener this side of heaven. LOL. Lots of laughs.
Amazing. Thank you.
And thank you, guys. That's all for now.
Nice. Thank you all. I do appreciate it. Amazing. Let me just finish your brainwash. You've been brainwashed? Because it's interesting sitting back watching my country become a socialist society. And the brainwashing that has taken place because people are angry. Anyone that has anger is already brainwashed. And the other brainwashed angry people just pile on. That's all it is. I never imagined that one day Americans would not like freedom. They wouldn't love freedom. They love enslavement within themselves by their mind and emotions, and outside themselves by the mind and emotion of someone else or others. National news, speaking of Larry Elder, Larry would make for an amazing president. It really would. And they know it. And that's why they don't want him. They're trying to stop him. It's the same way they're trying to stop the Great White Hope. Larry would have been an amazing addition to the so-called Republican debate tonight. But they don't want Larry to. You see how they had no problem with having Tim Scott there? Tim Scott is a mama's boy. My mama and I, we lived in a one-room house. I could have married the American dream. Just words. They had no problem with Tim Scott. He black. They didn't want Larry because Larry is an individual. News Nation is reporting that Larry Elder announced Tuesday he intends to sue the Republican National Committee in an attempt to halt Wednesday's first GOP presidential debate in Milwaukee. They don't want Larry. The Republican National Committee is a joke. And that woman that's running it, she's a loser. I think she's the niece of, what's his face? But she's a loser. It's a joke. They don't want Larry and they don't want Donald Trump. Here is the headlines from Newsweek. Newsweek, Larry Elder outrage after finding out he didn't qualify for a GOP debate. Outrage. And that the head of the National Committee, Republican National Committee, is Mitt Romney's niece. I rest my case. So, they say that Larry is outraged during Newsweek. Here is Larry explaining exactly what's going on. I want to know, does he look outraged to you? Watch this from X and Fox.
As you know, I submitted 3 national polls as required, one of which was the Rasmussen poll. The RNC contacts me and says, I can't use Rasmussen because it is, quote, affiliated with the Trump campaign, close quote. I didn't know that. It's not affiliated with my campaign. Rasmussen says Trump did not pay for a poll, did not even suggest a poll, and that they have no business not using Rasmussen to be one of the polls that Elder submits. If I'm not up there on that debate stage, I will see them in court. We're going to file an injunction. I will be there. I'm already here in Milwaukee because I'm going to give a really good performance. You're going to hear my backstory about my father being thrown out of the house when he was 13 years old. They're going to hear the issues, in addition to the issues that Bill mentioned, the epidemic of fatherlessness, the lie that America is systemically racist, the need for school choice, the need to get rid of these soft on crime George Soros-backed DAs, and the need for an amendment to the Constitution to fix spending to a certain percentage of the GDP, with exception for war and for natural disaster. These are the kinds of things nobody but Larry Elder is talking about. We've met the criteria. I intend to be on that stage tomorrow night. Trust me, Alex and Marla, I will be on that stage tomorrow night.
Amazing. So did he look angry, or was he dealing with it in the right way? But they say, oh, you look, Newsweek, Larry Elder, outraged. I didn't see any outrage. You see why they don't want Larry up there? But they want Tim Scott. He crying about his mama. My mama don't like you, and she likes everyone. He's a writer. The Republican Party is no different than the Democratic Party. They're pushing women. They're getting rid of the men. They accept the weak man because they know they can control him. But it's the same. It's the same, folks. Here's another man standing up for what is right. A brand new Trump ad has been released. Watch this from X.
They come from different walks of life, but all have one thing in common. They want their country back. Parents who want to take back control of their children's education. Veterans tired of being kicked to the curb. They believe in protecting the sanctity of life, securing our borders, standing for the flag, kneeling for God above, and an honest day's pay for an honest day's work. Hillary made fun of them.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
Biden called them a threat.
The MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
And DeSantis degradingly called them listless vessels. No, they aren't, Ron. They're great Americans who know there's one person who will always have their backs.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Amazing. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the kind of white folks I know, I grew up with. Loving America, standing for it, come what may. And this is why they want you to become the minorities in your country. They want you to become the minority so they can bring in the dirty mess and destroy America. But white folks, keep standing. Stand, stand, stand. And when you've done all you could do to stand, stand some more. Amazing, huh? I love that ad. I had not seen it until right now. My producer, Sean, gave it to me. And by the way, the head of the Republican National Committee is a dumb female by the name of Ronna McDaniel. What the? They had a chance to vote her out. No, they kept her. She's a beta. The Republican Party is now the Democratic Party. We have one-party system. Let me take a quick break. When I come back, your phone calls and super chats. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't wanna be angry. You wanna speak up, you wanna disagree with what's going on, it's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear, you won't have doubt, you won't have worries, you'll be able to see, but you gotta stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Amazing. 888-7753-773. 888-77 Jesse. There's a line open if you want to jump in there. Quick announcement. Brand new episode of The Fallen State this Friday. If the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Brand new episode. A very interesting discussion with Austin Peterson. S-E-N. I'm S-O-N, but he's S-E-N, Austin Peterson. He is a former Libertarian presidential candidate and the host of Wake Up America newscast. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
In 2016, I ran as a libertarian for president of the United States. We probably are going to do better presenting a unified front against what the left has become, which is a threat to all of our liberties.
What's wrong with the blacks?
No one wants to be a part of the out-group, Jesse.
And are you a good person?
Oh, boy, you were asking the big questions today.
So you like being married to a woman who is like your mother?
She's basically like sunshine and rainbows.
I actually enjoy when he sheds a tear. That's really cool for me.
I bet. It was amazing. His wife came on unexpectedly. You do not want to miss it. And then she tweeted out she went and forgave her mother after the show. That's this Friday at 12 noon Pacific time. And ladies, I counsel with ladies as well. We counsel men, women. So you're welcome for counseling. We have the best counseling service on this side of heaven. Individual, family, of all races, anyhow. By phone, Skype, or walk-in. And the reason I'm mentioning it to the ladies because I've been counseling with more and more ladies because the ladies thought that I didn't counsel with them. Even though we have women's forum, we have our fellowship for all, we have men's forum, but it's for everyone. Ladies, you got to return to the Father too in order to overcome the hell that's in you. Your mothers have recreated you as well in her image. You're not yourself. That's why you keep repeating the same thing. And so many ladies tell me, I never wanted to be like my mother. I said I would never be like her. And lo and behold, I became like her. Even when they tried to do things differently, it still turned out to be a mess because they had the spirit of their mother, they didn't know it. But ladies, you must be born again of the Father. Men and women must return to the Father, your normal nature, instead of the abnormal nature. So go and forgive, lady. Forgive mama. So for counseling, go to rebuildingtheman.com for all, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. At 9 a.m. after my show, the Hake Report is coming up. The HakeReport.com from 9 to 11. And a brand new show today. Hassan at 11 a.m. called Wow, Walking on Water. Watch this.
Be still and know I'm here. Perfect love casts out all fear. Love is not emotion, love is not a feeling. Love is forgiving, true healing. Humans judge vices, God judge the heart. Overcome the world, that part. Now we got perfect peace. Everything we ever need. Kill the ego before it kills me. Let the true me be free. All thoughts are lies, man, it's in your head. 7 deadly sins, you the walking dead. Purified, fly like a dove. The absence of hate, love.
We're going to walk on water this year. As Hassan said on the moon, walking on water.
Wow. Look like Jesus standing on that mountain. Wow is at 11 a.m. today. First day. Telephone, telegraph, tell a woman, get the word out. All right, 11 a.m. And after Hassan, the American Anchor Baby, right after Wow. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon Pacific time. A lot going on. And for counseling, once again, you can call 800-411-BOND. You can make donations there and all kinds of stuff. Or rebuildingtheman.com. Same thing, all right? Let me go to Scott. First, there's one line open, 888-7753-773. Let me go to Scott, a first-time call out of Pennsylvania. Scott, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Jesse?
All is well, sir.
Hey, I'm just calling to say I finally worked up the courage to go and forgive my mother, I believe, because I feel good. I feel better.
Yeah.
I was in and out, like the parking meter was on red. As soon as I said, I forgive you, I love you, I don't hate you, I ran out the door. And you're right. It's like your boots, I was shaking in my boots. It took me about 3 months to finally do it. So the next mission, maybe some advice is working on my father. Like the anger towards my father is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I recognize it.
And why are you angry at him?
Well, they both abandoned me. And, like you say, a son definitely always desires his father, not desired him for so many years. Then that desire just finally burnt out, and I basically just let it go. But, I definitely agree. I need to go forgive him.
Yeah.
Recognize it wasn't him, it was his addictions. It was, it was Satan, you know what I mean?
100%.
Guiding him.
Yeah.
But I'm always making excuses not to do it, why not to do it. And the anger's still there, and I recognize it. It's bad, the anger. Like, it bothers me throughout the day when I'm driving. A lot of things.
Yeah.
So I know I got to build it up and do it. And don't know how to go about it.
You do exactly what you did with your mother. You're shaking your boots and just go and say, hey, I've been resenting you. I wanted you. I had a longing for my father. I understand now that you couldn't help yourself, and I'm sorry for resenting you. Keep it basic, keep it simple, and have no expectation at all. Don't expect him to apologize. If he does, fine. If he doesn't, fine. God will forgive you, and it will be even more amazing.
Yeah, because I felt it when I did with my mother.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I go to my mechanic's right across the street directly from my father's, and I'll walk past, won't even look over there, just leave, and it's on my mind. But I also had a couple other questions also.
Let me say this to you first. Don't forget the question. It's not you that's been trying to talk you out of forgiving. It's the spirit of evil that made a home in your mind and your emotions. It's not you, but no one told you that years ago while growing up, And so you grew up identifying with evil, thinking that it was you, and it's not. You're not your thoughts, and you're not your feelings. It's not you.
Yeah, I'm taking that advice up. I've been listening to the thoughts thing. I'm definitely a big believer of that also, and I'm starting to snap more quickly out of letting the thoughts dwell in me.
Yes,
it's becoming better every day. But I know that the completeness would be with the forgiveness of my father. But I wanted to ask you also with the trend, it's been passed down to me also. I'm sure my children they got anger towards me.
Yeah.
Is that something do you suggest going to them all? I got 5 children. Do you suggest going to them and just saying, "Hey, forgive me for not protecting you and protecting you from your mother and not being there"? Like each individual child, is that what you suggest doing?
So you have 5 by the same woman?
Yeah, they're all the same woman. They're all grown now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, kids. Well, now adults. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't know that I should be protecting you from your mother. I didn't know because I was angry at my mother. I was angry at my father. I couldn't see. I'm sorry for not being there in the right way for you. I'm sorry. And you can explain to them that in order for them not to do the same thing and to be free, is that they must forgive you and their mother. And then there's no more you can do. It's up to them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But
yeah, I can tell they, like you said, they desire for my presence now. But
yes,
they're still guarded, and they're still hesitant to even take my advice, and they still go to their mother and take her advice, and the proof is in the pudding. Every time they listen to her advice, it's misery.
Yes.
And then I'll go to them like, I gave you the advice. And then it's like my advice shows itself in the future, and it's frustrating because they still refuse not to take my advice, and they go to their mother, and that's a problem. I got to control my anger. I don't go angry at them, but it's the anger inside of me. Like, I wish they would just listen, because it's proven that if you would have taken my advice, this wouldn't have happened. And they still continue to live in the hell of taking their mother's advice, and it's frustrating also.
Every time you listen to the woman, whether you're the boys or the girls, the kids listen to their mothers, they suffer. Every time. Ain't no way around it. It's just the way it is because of who her God is. And women are not logical until they go and forgive their mothers and return to the Father. Then God renews their mind and gives them his mindset, which is a logical mindset.
Okay. I don't know if you got time still. I've been wanting to call you now for so many months, and I finally built the courage up to do this. I also had another question kind of related also to the father figure. My son's son, who he's not doing his part, I've pretty much taken on the role as the father, and it's his. I'm taking him. I'm getting this grip on him, like where he's my son and everything. And I don't know if I should get that invested in that role as a grandfather, because I know with the spiritual thing, I know the man's spirit is in the children, or not the man's spirit, the God's spirit, but the man, so forth and so God, Christ, man.
Yeah.
And I believe. I mean, just a suggestion, or if I'm way off on this, I believe that my as the grandfather, that I'm kind of like connected as the father. Yeah, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I'm kind of connected as the father to my grandson, even though his father's not doing his part. And but he does desire his father, my son. He desires my son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% he does.
I don't, even today, we dropped him off. Well, even thanks to your advice, we dropped him off. We worked together as a group, got him out of public schools, put him in a private school. And even today I suggested, said, hey, why don't you let me have my grandson for the next couple of years? Pretty much saying this. I'm not saying, pretty much said there's no purpose of you at this point. He's 5 years old, about to be 6. Let me take him on as a man. the next couple years. Then I've thought about it. Do you feel like I crossed the boundary on that?
What did your son say when you said to ask?
No, I didn't say it to my son. I said it to his mother, because my son he's rarely around.
Oh, I see. You said it to your grandson's mother.
Yes.
And, now that you are waking up, you started to see, it'll be perfect, man. But let him, don't keep him away from his father. If his father want to see him, and his father want, whatever he wants to see.
Oh, no, I definitely don't. I try to inspire his father. Like, I'll get the grandson, like, hey, I got your son, come on down.
Yeah, that would be perfect, man, if you can do that. Absolutely, because by him being with his mother, and he's that old now, if he stays there, he doesn't have a chance.
Yeah, I believe I see it, and I tell the father that, and things like of that nature, and it's just, she went wired off, went crazy on me, like, well, man, I'm the mom, he needs me, and I'm like, I kept quiet. I was just like, no, he don't need you. Right now, he don't need you. Yeah. You did your part.
Yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't need mama's love anymore, which is not love anyway. He definitely needs to be guided the rest of the way by his father or grandfather that has awakened.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because even if he were with his father, but his father was still asleep, it would be like being with his mother.
Yeah. All my children are just like their mother.
Yes.
Even the males.
Absolutely. Have the nature of the mother until they are born again of the father.
Yeah. I know I got to stay, to be patient and just continue to be consistent on this path.
Yeah.
And
are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't. Definitely haven't.
And why not?
I have a silent thought of doing it, but I don't always complete it. It's just I don't know, the stubbornness. I don't know. Maybe
the devil doesn't want you to do it, man. He's
talking
I know, you out of it.
Yeah, I know. I definitely. I'm a big It's been years. I've been like, when I first heard you, I've always thought like the things that you say, like I would go to church and they'd be like, oh, you're going to sin every day and you're going to be, it sounded like an AA meeting. You're an addict always, so you're always going to pretty much fail. And I used to say, well, I'm dealing with a almighty God. Why couldn't I overcome sin?
Yes.
And you could never hear that in church. I just sit there and like, this don't make sense. And you're the first man preacher that hit me with, like, you can overcome sin. God tells us plenty of times in the Bible, in the scripture, that sin no more, overcome sin.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. It's just worldly nature. But if you sit back and think about it, it's not hard not to sin.
It's not at all. It's once you let that anger go, you're done. The devil has been defeated. Our sins have been paid for. We don't sin. That's why once you forgive, the vices and everything is of the devil. That's his nature and come from us listening to thoughts and emotions. And once we come back to the light by forgiving, the devil will be destroyed by the light, and all his little vices will disappear with him too. You will have a brand new nature, which is of God.
And I can't find it nowhere in the. I listen to you, but in my area, there's no churches. I don't even know if churches like that exist anymore, other than you. I tried MacArthur. I had a quick splurge with John MacArthur. Then I started falling off with his. Not saying he's bad, but he was too dependent on the Bible and everything, and I was like, damn.
Well, do the prayer, man. Do the prayer. You're on your way now. You're now starting to see. You have some light. You have a little light, and that light will get brighter. And it really, really will get brighter and brighter and brighter, and things will become clearer and clearer and clearer. And you'll get to the point of no return into hell. You will be free.
Yeah, well, I do want to thank you for your insight. And before I go, I want to give you a great alpha movie. Recommend a great alpha movie.
Okay.
Panic in Year Zero. You get time, check it out.
Panic
Great
at
album.
00?
Panic in Year Zero.
Oh, okay. Amazing.
You'll love it. You'll love it.
Let me
All right,
ask.
man. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
Let me ask real fast. Why were you so afraid, and were you surprised how afraid you were to go and face your mother?
Well, why do I feel I was afraid?
Yeah, why were you so afraid?
I believe she molded me in her image, and I'm sure she was fearful to confront any type of pushback in anything in life, and I'm assuming I picked up that same spirit, and in all the years of her saying, "I love you more than my dad," and more than your father, and this, and pretty much saying that I made you the person you are. But she not realizing she made me the person, a weak person, not a strong person.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
When you're on your way, Scott, stay with it. I don't care if the world turns against you. You stay with it. And it's going to be amazing, all right?
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
All right, buddy. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Darius is out of Texas. You see here. Darius, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good, Jesse. How you doing, man? It's probably, I think, my third time calling in, man.
Amazing.
So grateful for you. Yes, sir. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you. I've been listening to you for the past, almost a month or two now, and I'm just so fortunate that I was able to stumble upon you. So my question to you is, so maybe about a month or two ago, I was battling my own little inner demons, and I figured I need to search and seek out Christ. And I would have my talks with my wife or whatnot, and it was always something encouraging. Yeah, baby, we need to seek out Christ and get back into church. So I decided to do so, and it was a mega church out here in Dallas, Texas, which is the Potter's House. But as of lately, whenever I leave church, I'm not leaving with informal information on what I need to know.
Yeah.
Versus feeling so good inside that I'm listening to what I want to hear. So I just wanted to know, what's your insight on the mega churches? Because I just kind of see that it's predominantly women. It's a feminist movement, and it just doesn't seem just genuine and just truthful.
It's a waste of time. It's like going to a bar room every Sunday morning.
Okay. I never thought about it that way. And the reason why I say that, because I went on Father's Day, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way how the service started. It was just more of acknowledging the women, literally the women on Father's Day.
Yeah.
And immediately I just wanted to leave the church, but I stayed. I stayed because my spirit was good, and I was there with a good intent. But
Right.
I left out still bothered.
Yeah, just don't judge them. They cannot see. You wish them well. Have you watched Inner Bible Fellowship on Sundays?
Yes, sir. So I was able to catch your service on Sunday. I didn't watch it live, but I was able to go back and watch it, and just to see, I noticed the little things. I didn't see a cross. I didn't see a piano. I didn't see ushers. I didn't see any of that stuff, but I saw you engaging with people of God, asking questions, and I was able to take some of the things that
Hold on, Darius, hold on for me. I'm sorry, I don't want you to rush. Hold on. Let me take a break. One more hour to go. If you could hold on, Darius, hold on. Hake is coming in with the hate news. Manhood hour's coming up. I'll be back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
Commies versus commie capitalists. It's disgusting. The unions threatening to strike everywhere. Or they are striking everywhere. Messi is bringing in the money for U.S. soccer. That's nice. And the Smithsonian groveling to emotions. Now that it's black lead. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for hour 3. Manhood Hour is coming right up with JLP. Back to your calls and the super chats and more. But first, Hake news, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the Hake Report. And after the Hake Report, the debut, the opening, the initial show of Walking on Water Hassan. Wow, Hassan. Hassan. Right after Hake at 11 a.m. Pacific time. That's 1 Central, 2 Eastern. And then, of course, American Anchor Baby at noon Pacific, 2 Central, 3 Eastern. American Anchor Baby on YouTube and Rumble. Hassan is on YouTube. Walking on Water Hassan. Congrats to India on that moon landing. Like I said, send Vivek Ramaswamy up there. Commie Nonsense Network CNN reports, this morning, India became the 4th country to land a spacecraft on the moon. Indian officials said the Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft was on pace to begin its final descent today at 8:15 a.m. Eastern time, and it happened. It happened. Cementing India's status as a global superpower in space. Previously, only the U.S., China, and the former Soviet Union, now known as Russia, have completed soft landings on the lunar surface. Chandrayaan-3's landing site was at the South Pole, basically. Further south, closer to the south than any other spacecraft in history had ventured, they said. The region is considered an area key to scientific and strategic interest for spacefaring nations, as scientists believe that the region is home to water ice deposits. They said ice is encased in glass beads or something like that. Wow. India's space agency was going to be live streaming the event starting just before they landed. UPS threatened with strike. Members of the Teamsters Union ratified a 5-year deal with UPS, United Parcel Service, putting an end to the threat of a strike that could have involved around 340,000 UPS so-called workers. The union said that 86% of members voted for the 5-year contract, which includes the across-the-board pay raises of $2.75 an hour and total raises of at least $7.50 an hour, or more than $15,000 a year for full-time so-called workers. Some UPS employees received even larger raises as the company agreed to eliminate a lower pay scale for many of the workers hired since 2018. The company agreed to address complaints that 95,000 delivery vans in its U.S. fleet do not have air conditioning. Although the UPS did not agree to retrofit existing fans with AC, it did agree to purchase only air-conditioned vehicles starting next year. Anyway, Messi's bringing in the money, $483 a ticket, average ticket price. Anyway, to see that superstar soccer player Lionel Messi, first regular season Major League Soccer game this weekend against the New York Red Bulls. Did you know they had a team name called that? Messi's appearance is sending ticket prices nearly 1,000% higher than they usually are for a Major League Soccer team, which typically hovers around $46. Wow. So congrats to MLS making that money. Smithsonian groveling. Here's a quote. The Smithsonian is grappling with a legacy once deemed acceptable, but that is so clearly ethically wrong today. That's at Lonnie G. Bunch III, Black Secretary of the Smithsonian Institute, apologizing for the dark history behind the institution's collection of human remains. Lonnie Bunch's statement came after the Washington Compost investigation said they had 30,700 human body parts, 255 brains, largely people of color, without permission from the early 1900s. I'm James Hake.
stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. You can get involved 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. JESSE. My biblical question for this week: how often do you throw rocks at others? How often do you throw rocks at others? Amazing, huh? We have every way to watch this and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, you're busy, and you don't have time to sit and watch the show right now, you may want a podcast, of course. You can be listening while you're doing whatever you're doing. Wherever you are around the world. And for the flat earthers, up and down the world. By calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500 on your iPhone or iPad. And don't forget to follow us, JLP Talk on Twitter, JLP Talk on Twitter, and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, and everything else. And don't forget to get your to donate and have your comments read out loud. Go to buymeacoffee.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Buymeacoffee.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. It's Wednesday. It's the last hour of the show. And every Wednesday, last hour is Manhood Hour. What is a man? What is a man?
It's an adult human male.
Manhood. Hillary or President Trump?
I voted for Hillary Clinton.
Beta male.
Hello, Steve. Okay. I wanted to talk about responsibility.
Well, I can't wait to hear this.
This year is about me.
Now, the process of getting an abortion was fairly easy, at least for me.
I feel just so at peace with my move.
I feel relieved. I feel good.
One thing that I realized is I've always wanted to be a mother, but not necessarily a wife.
I feel like I made the best decision for myself.
I try to be a good wife, but most weekends there are few things that I need my husband to do around the house. When I ask my husband to do these few things, he gets upset and that I'm being demanding. Any advice?
Because it's sometimes easier to train a man than it is to train a dog.
Yep.
You know, incentivize it for him.
Whoa.
Whether it's with food, sex, praise, whatever it is, it's going to work. It's going to work.
Yeah. And Steve go, yeah. They're telling Satan's daughter to train the man like a dog. It's easier to train a dog. And these are experts. All the wrong people in the right places to make sure my country never, ever, ever return. And the woman feels so good hearing that people applauding. They hate the image of God, which is the man. Which is the man. Let me just finish up with Darius. I had to put him on hold. We ran out of time there in the last hour. Darius, you want to know what church should he go to right now? Hey, Darius.
Yes, sir. I'm here, Jesse.
Thanks for holding. So you watched our Sunday service last week? You podcast
Yes,
later?
sir.
And your
Yes,
impression
sir.
was what?
Say that again. Can you repeat
And
that?
what was your impression of that?
To be honest with you, just the eyes, just to see. I didn't see a cross. I didn't see pews. I didn't see musicians. I wasn't distracted from the truth.
Yes.
Which was what you were pretty much talking about to the congregation. So I brought it to my wife. I let her see it. You spoke on like the education and college and us being bamboozled. And I've been feeling this way for a very long time, but I just felt like I was the outsider with the way I'm thinking versus everyone else. And just to kind of compare to like your church versus the church I go to, it just seems like a circus show.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty much what you want to hear versus what I need to know, so I can go out and apply it Monday through Saturday and come back Sunday to refresh myself for the week. So I was just asking what's your insights, because I haven't been back to the church now that his daughter is ordained, and I just ran clean away because I haven't been back since.
Oh, blame you.
I don't want to hear from, a woman trying to tell a man how to go about life.
Yeah.
And my wife, she's like, why not? I explained it to her. And it is what it is. And it's like, well, I'll follow wherever you go. So
for right now, here's the one thing I do want you to know. Your body is the temple of God, and everything you're looking for is inside of there. And if you want some really good fellowship, which is good to have, you can watch our church on Sunday mornings, either live or podcast. And it's on at 11 a.m. It starts at 11 a.m. Pacific time and 2 p.m. Eastern time at rebuildingtheman.com/church. And if it's meant for you to fellowship somewhere else, you'll see it. It'll happen naturally without you having to look for it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Your wife is willing to follow you?
Yes, sir, she is.
Oh, good.
She watches you a lot. I turned her on to you, as well as the late Kevin Samuels, and she was the same way, brainwashed, just whatever her mom would say to her, because she grew up without her dad.
Yeah.
And, she was one with an attitude, strong, independent, I don't need no man. And eventually I stopped being a beta and left and came to Texas, and it was like, look, this is the deal. This is what I'm doing. You either get on board or this won't work. So now our life is in order. It's gotten better from what it was.
Yes.
We've been married now for 5 years. We've been together for 15, but married for 5 years now. So
right on.
Now we're starting to understand the order, which you definitely taught me. She seek God through me.
Yes.
I'm the head of her. She's the head of the household. And we're just following that order. So I just thank you so much. This is my third time calling. And you just said so much light insight on peace right here on earth. Life can be a whole lot simpler. We just make it so complex.
Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
I'll be honest, Jesse. I did it last night. I did it this morning. I'm not consistent, but I am doing it. I do find myself. I didn't realize that I had so much thoughts in my head to the point where I would have headaches, and it was all just evil thoughts. So now I'm literally having a silent prayer to where I'm falling asleep, and it's a good thing.
Well,
and
I highly recommend you stay with the silent prayer, man, because the devil that has made a home in your mind and emotion, he doesn't want to depart. He has no power, no authority but to deceive you. And whenever you believe the thoughts, you're worshiping the devil. So I highly recommend that you do the silent prayer so you can catch the thoughts. You will get to a point where you will catch them before you believe in them and they overtake you. But and so I highly recommend you do it. Don't let the thoughts talk you out of it. He doesn't want you to be still. He'd rather you hoop and holler than to be still and know God. So stay with it, all right?
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Jesse.
All right. Thanks for your call, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Amazing.
Amazing. Nice. All right, buddy. Amazing. 888-775-3773. Let me do this before I get back to your calls and then your super chats. Anyone that has anger, anyone, male or female, It's all about me, 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 me. You heard Joe Biden. He went. We played it in the first hour there. He went over there to Hawaii finally to check on the fire situation. And what did he talk about? Himself. It was all about him. That is the spirit of evil. It's the female nature, which is not her own. It's the spirit of evil. Everything, me, 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 is all about me all the time. That's why mothers destroy their children, taking them away from the fathers, turning them away, trying to hurt the father, because it's all about her. It's not about love. And they'll do whatever it takes to destroy that child and call it love, and the world goes along with it. Yeah, mama's love. No, it's not. Mama don't have no love. It's all about mama. New York Post has reported parents are receiving backlash online after filming themselves cracking eggs on their kids. Even though they tell you parents are doing it, really mothers are doing it. Cracking eggs on their kids as part of the latest social media trend. And I want to know from you, is this a harmless trend, or is this child abuse? Watch this from TikTok.
Ow! That hurts!
Look at that.
Ow. That hurts. Are you okay? No.
Ready?
Yeah.
Two.
Stop it!
1, 2, 3.
Hey! That wasn't very nice. That wasn't very nice. What the?
He said, what the hell? The little boy had it better than the rest of the kids and the mother. He's like, what the hell? See how wicked mothers are? That's funny. They're traumatizing children, and they think it's funny. It's all about me, 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 me. And if the father should see that, and he want to go and take his children away from that, who do you think the court going to go with? The woman who traumatized the kids. But if the father did it, they'll automatically give it over to the children. Is that funny, harmless trend, or is it traumatizing? Poor kids, huh? And just imagine those mothers are doing that just to entertain themselves. It's about them. To feel good, which is death itself. A feel-good feeling is no different than a feel-bad feeling. It's all evil, both evil. And they call it funny. Brainwash. Mothers do not have love, folks. No such thing. It's all evil. Amazing, huh? They sit there doing that to those children and laughing about it. Where's social service when you need them, right? And it's deliberate. They set it up that way. Put a camera in front of them and put it on TikTok. Will social service give them a visit? Or will they just call it harmless fun? It's just TikTok. And would they feel the same way if father was doing that to the children, put it on TikTok? Would they call that a trauma or child abuse? That was child abuse. I don't care what you call it. Those kids don't understand that. You heard the little boy go, what the F? And I want to say they're acting like children, the mother, but kids don't act that way. That's evil. Amazing, huh? Men, do you see now you're needed? The women need the men to guide them. They need your light. Men, you are the light of the world. And when the men light goes out, this is what you get. The light is in the man until the woman returned to the Father. And if you think that's bad, Run News 24 reported that in Scotland, a special big kid kindergarten for adults now, big kid kindergarten, has been open for adults who want to feel like children. They can play, make craft, and play in the sandbox all day long. Watch this from TikTok. Grown people, mama spirit everywhere, which is the spirit of evil. Adults, refuse to grow up because they're miserable on the inside. And you know the fancy name that they give it? Therapeutic. They cover up evil. That's evil. And they cover it up by calling it therapeutic. It's a spiritual battle. And men, you have been given by the authority of God to lead. But you got to overcome mama's spirit too in order to lead. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do it. Only thing you'll do is sit around and do what women do. Play all day long in the sandbox. In the sandbox of revenge, no love, hatred, anger, fear, and doubt, just like the woman. Stress, worries. You are created to be the leader. Come back to leadership by forgiving mama and returning to the Father, becoming whole again. And you see what those people are doing. And as a result of men not being men, and a man is not just playing tough or talking loud. It's his natural nature once he returned to it. He becomes the light. As long as you don't, the kids will suffer. Watch this from X.
We act them though. Don't you act like a soul. Hold on, bro. How act I like bows? I act like soul. I act like soul. You need that we blown in. You know what it is? You know what it is? A bell this no shit. No shit. Let him hit. Let him hit everyone. We no shit. We outside with the shit. We outside with your blue hat. Yeah, we bitch outside. Bro, don't drop my weed.
Amazing. Wow, they dropped my weed. And evil goes on from generation to generation to generation. To generation. It's not going to stop until you say no to evil inside of yourself and outside of you, inside of others. Otherwise, it goes on from generation to generation. It lives in human bodies. Amazing, huh? That's almost sad. The kids playing gangster, pretend to be smoking weed, shooting guns, acting like the rappers. And no parents there to stop them. Because the parents are evil. No love. If you don't love all, you love none. What are you saying, Hassan?
Oh no, fill me with sorrow.
Oh, yeah. When I think of the world, it fills me with sorrow. Children today gonna suffer tomorrow. Oh, what a shame. Such a sad way to live. Who really cares? Who is willing to try to change a world that is destined to die? Ba-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. It doesn't have to be that way, folks. I promise you. Evil has no power. He's been defeated. It is done. Why don't you wake up? Be willing to stand alone and travel this road by yourself. You can't take anybody with you. As long as you're with the crowd, this is what you're going to get. And the crowd don't love each other either. It's all a game. What a shame. Frank, there's a line open at 888-775-3773. Frank is out of a first-time call out of Texas. Frank, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to thank you, sir. I've been listening to you for the past 4 years, and remarkably, I found you on YouTube. I made the transition from becoming a Satanist and over to God, listening to you and others, but mainly you. I almost got every little satanic thing out of my house, but I still have my tattoos I got to try and get rid of. But it's through your word, I don't want to say I've been saved, but I feel better about myself every day.
Yeah. And what is a satanic? What is that?
A Satanist is where they call it. They call it two different forms. They call one side devil worshiping, they call the other side Satanism, and that means that we are actually. They use the term Satanist as being believing in no God, atheism.
Oh.
But it's all the same.
Yeah,
it's all the same.
And how long were you a Satanist?
25 years.
Really? How did you get in there? What was it like living that way?
At first, it was nice. You found, people that were like-minded to yourself, and we were always, as a kid, the term was Bible bashed. You gotta believe, or blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's just, or we got the whippings if we listen to something, or so we were all identified that way, and then we just found each other, and that's how it all really happened.
Amazing.
Yeah. I'm not going to try to say like it was through music or anything like that, but some of it was music intended. But I'm like I said, I've transitioned because I know now that all of it was just a big waste of time.
Yeah, absolutely. What made you decide that you were sick of being that way?
I started realizing more and more, and started looking at things in a different light. Now I am a grandfather, and started looking at what's the kind of world that my granddaughter's going to live in.
Yeah.
What's the what am I showing them? I'm showing them that this guy with horns and stuff like that is the way, and I just couldn't live like this anymore.
That's perfect, man. I love the fact that you start questioning things. That's how I've been all my life. I always question things. And I remember when I was, once I became an adult, I was going to these different churches, and they were telling you to read the Bible and do this and do that, but nothing was changing inside of me. And I started to question that. Okay, if I believe in God, how come I still have fear? How come I'm still emotional? What's wrong with me? And once I started to question what was happening with me, that's when the answers start to come. And most people never question what's happening with them.
My upbringing was, my father was Mormon, or still is, and my mother is Catholic. So I was always torn between the different religions.
Yeah, what a mess.
Yes, it was.
So how does your friends feel about you now that you walked away from that, from Satanism?
They no longer want to speak to me because I went from being more or less leaning. Now I'm, become more conservative. I've become, I've voted for Trump, and not vote for Biden.
Amazing.
That everything that man is just what I used to stand for, and now I just can't stand it. I just can't believe that was that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, my friends have totally abandoned me, and if they don't respect me now, they didn't even respect me then, so I don't need them in my life.
100%. 100%. Amazing, man.
I love the way you say that.
Have you gone and forgiven your parents?
That's a transition, but little by little, yes. I do visit them a lot. My father recently struggled with a stroke, and I still visit him. I'm more and more forgiving them, and it's a transition for that. There's been a lot of bad things that happened in the past, and things are just a little bit harder to forgive, but I'm trying.
Let me tell you this. I will encourage you, because you're on your way now, just to apologize to them for resenting them. They couldn't help themselves. And I wouldn't, I would do it with the very first opportunity, because that's all you have is that opportunity. And don't let evil talk you out of waiting until tomorrow or this situation, that situation. And especially since your father and mother are still living, and do the silent prayer. You haven't seen anything, Frank. God is with you. He's going to clear up everything. It'll be as though you don't have, it's just, you won't have a past or a future. You will just have a life right now. It will be amazing for you.
Thank you, sir.
Have you tried the silent prayer yet?
To be honest, no, sir.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, to be honest with you, no, sir. I haven't.
Well, give it a try. See what you think. Rebuildingtheman.com is it rebuildingtheman.com prayer?
I see it.
Oh, okay. And give it a try, and just let life happen. You haven't seen anything, man. It gets clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer. God is with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for everything that you've done, everything that you've given me. You've touched a part of my heart that I never, ever would have imagined that it feels this way. I hope you become immortal, because we need you in this world.
Amazing. Well, stay with it. You'll see the same God that's working with me is working with you. He's working through you. He's with you, and it's amazing, all right? I appreciate your call, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. You have a great day.
You too. Amazing. There's nothing in life that has ever happened to you that God is holding against you, because it was never you. It was always something else in you. All right? So don't judge yourself. A quick break. Back in a moment. Treasure Chest is now open on D-Live. Back in a moment. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, But because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. Salvation is of the heart. You heard Frank said the light touched his heart in ways you never imagined. Salvation is of the heart, not of the vices, but the heart. The vices of your father, the devil, will be taken away from you once the heart change. Quick announcement, and there's a line open at 888-7753-773. Quick announcement. Number one, the Hake report is coming up at the top of this hour. The HakeReport.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And after the Hake, brand new show, Hassan's new show today. And as Hake said, it's with 2 S's, Hassan, possibly S. And the show is called Wow, Walking on Water. That's Hassan and his dog. Ooh, let the dogs out. Watch this. That look like Jesus.
Be still and know I'm here. Perfect love casts out all fear. Love is not emotion. Love is not a feeling. Love is forgiving. True healing. Humans judge vices. God judge the heart. Overcome the world. That part. Now we got perfect peace. Everything we ever need. Kill the ego before it kills me. Let the true me be free. All thoughts are lies, man, it's in your head. 7 deadly sins, you the walking dead. Purified, fly like a dove. The absence of hate, love.
Yeah, we're gonna walk on water this year. As Hassan said on the moon, walking on water.
Wow. Walking on water at 11 a.m. today. You don't want to miss it. Amazing, huh? And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. It's on fire. So get ready, folks. It will bless you. Amazing, right? And for personalized shout-outs, birthday shout-outs, wedding shout-outs, encouragement shout-outs, there was amazing encouragement a father sent yesterday for Cameo for his son. It was beautiful. Whatever shout-out, anywhere around the world, you can go to cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Cameo, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. I will do them for you. I want to go back to the phones, 888-7753-773. Tiara is a first-time caller out of Dallas, Texas. Tiara, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse. How are you?
All is well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
So, I was calling because I don't know if you remember Darius, who you just spoke to.
Yes.
Well, Darius is my husband, and I heard him tell you how our marriage has gotten better over the past 5 years and all of that. So, we, about 2 years ago, we discussed me becoming a stay-at-home mom. So it's going on 2 years where I became a stay-at-home mom, and I still struggle with whether or not I made the right decision, because I just feel like as an able-bodied woman, I can go to work. I just feel like I should be contributing something to our household. So I'm still kind of just struggling with that.
And your questions for me is what?
If you just had any advice on how to navigate those feelings, or just like overcome the way I'm feeling about being a stay-at-home mom, because I was raised, go to work, take care of you, take care of your kids.
Yeah.
Don't depend solely on your husband. If he leaves today or tomorrow, then what are you going to have? And then recently I started college, but I didn't finish. So recently I applied to go back to college. My mom would tell me I'm procrastinating. I should go finish school. So I kind of had like bugs in my ear.
Yeah.
And so I'm just struggling, trying to just overcome, just doing the right thing for myself or for my family, and just obeying my husband.
I totally understand it. Is your mother still whispering in your ear to go back to college?
Yeah, like I mentioned to her that I applied, and she was all for it. And then she visited us last month, and she asked me what was the update. I said, well, I was going to wait because I just enrolled my kids back in school. I have 3 sons. They play football. So I'm kind of busy, and I don't really have the time. So her response was, oh, you're procrastinating. If you don't do it now, you'll never get it done, and all of that. So
why don't you give her the finger? She's trying to destroy your marriage.
Yeah, my husband says that too.
But you can't see that what she's doing. You're married with children, and your kids need you, and she's over there whispering in your ear to do anything but what you're supposed to be doing. Why? And you see how she screwed you up. Why would you take her advice?
Yeah.
That was the question.
Okay, well, I didn't take her advice. When she told me that, I went back and I discussed with my husband what she said, and his response was your response. So I didn't continue with the whole schooling process. I kind of just like blew it off.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, his opinion matters more than what she has to say. So whatever me and her discuss, I'll go back and I discuss it with him just to see.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let me ask, which is greater, to be married, stay home, and raise decent children, or to be out trying to fulfill your ego nature, which is of the devil?
For me, it's to be married and raise my kids in a 2-parent household.
Yes. I would highly recommend you let all those ideas go about, oh, you need to be working, you need to be doing this and doing that. It's a setup, it's a lie, and it's from the devil. And it's just ego, and you need to die from the ego. There's nothing greater for a married woman to do is to be home, have children, raising decent children. There's nothing greater than that.
Okay.
And your rewards for it will be great.
Okay.
But if you leave your family, meaning you go to work, you try to be equal, you try to fulfill that ego fulfillment, your reward will be evil. It will be, you will have no peace.
Okay. Okay, I receive it. I have another question. Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, let me tell you this first. That desire to go out and pretend to be man is all evil. And it's unfortunate that our parents, or that the parents, some parents are teaching that now to their daughters. They're setting their daughters up to have a horrible life just as they have. And that's why they're telling you to do it, because evil loves evil and it hates good.
Yeah. Yeah, because honestly, my life has gotten better since I decided to become a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
Prior to that, my husband and I were both working full-time. The kids were in before school care, after school care, so it was like barely was spending any time with the kids. They were being babysat literally all day. Now I can get up in the morning, I make everybody breakfast, everybody go off to school and work. So things have gotten easier since we made that decision.
That's right. Well, then don't let that be a question anymore in your mind about going out to work. Look how amazing it is already. And it can only get better by you being right and doing right.
Yeah.
And don't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't try to be like those other women. They are unhappy. And when your mother bring that mess to you, you rebuke her, tell her you don't want to hear that, and that this is your life, this is your family, and for her to stay out of it.
Okay.
Have you forgiven her for what she done to you?
Yeah, I have. And we talked about it. I have.
Nice. And go ahead. You had another question for me.
So my other question was, I'm really into fitness. And recently I started a YouTube channel, and I started posting like my workouts on YouTube, like YouTube videos and the YouTube shorts. But the attention is not genuine attention. Like, people don't want to follow what I'm doing. They just want to watch and see. And my husband, he don't really agree with it. He feel like if that's what I'm going to do, that should be my time to myself versus recording myself working out and then going post it for the world to see. So I just wanted to know, what was your opinion on that?
I totally agree with him. You're a married woman, and all you're doing is causing men to lust after you.
Okay.
So stop being a temptation like that. And I want to encourage you. It sounds like you got a nice marriage going on right now. Both of you seem to be working on yourself. Paradise is yours, and it's greater than some guy sitting on the other end of a video lusting after you. So do your exercise, you work on yourself, and you'll be fine. Really, you will not regret it.
Okay.
Because all that stuff that you posted and all, it's just ego, and ego is of the devil, and you don't want to feed your ego or feed anyone else's ego. You want the total light to shine through you, and you'll be just fine. Believe me.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Jesse. That's all I have for you today.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yeah, so my husband introduced it to me last night. We were getting ready to go to bed. He was like, "Oh, babe, hold on, we have to do the silent prayer." I'm like, "Okay." So yeah, we like he said, we haven't been consistent with it, but when we remember, yeah, we'll do it. So we'll practice.
Well, make sure you remember to do it so you can be aware and you stay present with God rather than lost in your mind of the so-called past or future.
Okay. And that was I'm sorry, Jesse, I don't mean to hold you up, but that was another issue I had when the boys were starting school this year. I was just so pressed about getting everything beforehand and making sure we had everything beforehand. And he referenced something you said about living in the moment, stop worrying about the future or what's to come, or just focus on the present. So, yeah, I'm learning that too.
Right on. Well, you're blessed that you have a husband that is leading you rather than into your dark world. And it's not your world, but the world of hell. And so you're fortunate. Count it all joy and just simply live your life. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Don't try to be like anyone else. And wish everybody else well. Don't resent them, but don't try to be like them. And you'll be you haven't seen paradise yet. It gets better and better, all right?
Okay, I will do just that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Amazing. Stay with it.
Okay. Okay, I will.
All right. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Seth is a first-time caller out of Virginia. Seth, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello?
Hey, Seth.
Hey, Jesse.
How you doing?
Wow. Holy smokes. Amazing.
Amazing.
I was praying for this. Holy smokes. Wow, dude. First of all, I just want to say it's man hour. What we doing?
Seth. Hey, Seth. Hold on a minute. Your phone is messing up. I don't want to. You have I'm going to let Sean work with you on your phone. Do not hang up, and I'll come back to you. Josh is out of Georgia. Georgia, on my mind. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I was calling to answer the biblical question.
How often do you throw rocks at others?
I don't.
So you never throw rocks at anyone?
Never do. No, sir.
And what does it mean to throw rocks?
It means to hate somebody for the wrong that they do.
Amazing. I appreciate it. Had you thought about that before it became a biblical question?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yes. Yes, I have.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you responding to that, Josh. I want to respond. Your response is very interesting, but I have to wait until Sunday and put my little 2 cents in.
All right.
Thank you,
Sounds
man.
good.
I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you, man.
Okay. Nice.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now. 888-775-3773. Let me go back to Seth, a first-time call out of Virginia. Seth.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, you're clear now.
Okay, cool. So I just got out of a year-long relationship, and she's like just an awesome person, like a God-fearing Christian, and I really am kind of struggling with my next steps as a man and how to kind of overcome this fear of what if I can't have this person again, and is she the right one for me down the road? And I'm kind of just worried about decisions I'm going to make and, to kind of for the future and that kind of thing. And I wanted to hear your opinion.
Why did you get out of a relationship with a God-fearing Christian?
Because I was not a God-fearing Christian at the time.
And what is a God-fearing Christian?
Somebody, I believe, who is, I guess, a believer in the afterlife and the evils of the world that we live in, and I guess seeks the righteousness, I guess the hope that God gives.
What? Repeat that. I'm sorry.
Oh, just saying that somebody that I guess believes in God and wants to receive Him.
And how did you deal with the hell that's in her?
I got very angry, and I would take my anger out on her. The anger in her would, I feel like, kind of bounce off at me, and it'd make me super angry, and it still does. It still does make me angry.
And why?
Because I'm like insecure about whether or not I want her in my life.
Yeah. Would a God-fearing woman have hell in her?
No.
So why are you calling her a God-fearing woman then, Christian?
Just because of what she believes, like her morals.
Her morals. Would a God-fearing Christian have hell in them?
No, sir.
And so what does that say to you then if she got hell in her?
It says that I need to move on.
Right on. So why are you having a second thought about returning to hell?
The hell in me is calling me back.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's true. So that's your answer right there. I would recommend you stay away from that hell in her and work on the hell that's in you.
Yes, sir. And kind of as a like another question as a part of that. Sorry to take up your time.
No problem.
How do you recommend like a young man is able to like distance themselves from somebody like a significant other?
Cut off. So you want to stop talking to this girl?
Well, I like chatting with her, but kind of like what you're saying is like I kind of have to move on if she's, like you're saying, has the hell in her that I don't need.
Right. You see that you can't handle the hell in her, so I would cut her off completely. No more talking on the phone, no super chatting, no nothing. And just work on you and wish her well in your heart, wish her well because she can't help herself. And you work on you, seek first the kingdom of God in his right way. Don't seek anything else. And everything will be added, life will be added unto you. It'll be amazing.
Yes, sir.
It really will. So just let her go. And the devil going to tell you, oh, you hurt her feeling. Oh, you really need her. Oh, the pain that you're feeling is because you made her your God. And now your God is God, which is a false God. And so just feel the pain and know that it's of the devil, is not real, and work on yourself.
Awesome. I really appreciate that.
Because if you continue to talk to her, she's going to pull you back into her hell, and then you're going to have the hell already in you and dealing with the hell in her, and she will destroy you.
Yeah, and you typically you say to people to wish them well. Is that's what I would say.
Right. Just wish them well. Don't be angry. They can't help it. The same hell that's in you is in them too. They don't know it, but you do, and you're starting to work on yours. So just wish them well. They know not what they do.
Okay.
And
amazing.
And so you've already broken up with her?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well,
No
be
doubt. All that.
done. Cut it completely off so you can feel the ego pain and you'll die from the pain. It will be taken away from you by God. And God will be your God, and no one or anything else will ever be your God again.
Thank you, Jesse.
Have you gone and forgiven your mother? You're welcome. Have you forgiven your mother?
I have forgiven my mother.
You told her?
Yes, sir.
And what did she say?
She started crying and accepted my apology and understood where it was that I was coming from and apologized herself to me for her shortcomings in my life.
And how about your father?
My father, I've been dying to have this conversation with him. I have yet to have it, but I'm trying to. I really am trying to.
And why you haven't had it so far?
Just because of like my timing, my work schedule, and I have a band that I play, with, and I work 6 days a week, and I practice another day of the week. So I'm very busy. I don't have much time to see him, and if I see him, it's like a family gathering.
Can't you FaceTime with him for a minute?
Yes, I can.
Well, do that because you want to work on what's right first, and your band and everything else will work out for you naturally.
Okay.
You want to be one with the Father, right? And everything else will work out for you because you'll be able to see. And do the silent prayer, stay with it, and you'll be fine. But as far as this woman, be done with it. Don't play around with the devil. It is over. You see the hell in her. Run. Don't walk, and be done with it.
Yes, sir.
And the pain you're going to feel is not you. It's all ego because you had a false God in her.
Right. I see that now. I see that when you said that, it really resonated with me, and it hurt.
And that's the light that is allowing you to see that. All right? That's God working in you right now.
Well, thank you. I don't know if you have any more to add, but I just want to say thank you, and congrats, Hassan, on your new show.
You're welcome, man. Thank you. And call me again, all right?
Dude, I'd love to. Thank you so much.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Super chat. Super.
Super chats.
Yes, sir. Over on Buy Me a Coffee from M. Wells.
M. Wells.
My fiance said, yes, Jesse, from the cameo a couple months back. I proposed on the 4th of July.
Nice.
She had a fun time at work wearing her White History Month in July shirt, especially being a Latina.
Right on. Congratulations. I did this cameo with him asking this woman to marry him. You're welcome. I'm glad it worked out. Thank you.
And she finishes it up with one fellow Mexican called her a traitor, racist, and all kind of names. God bless and love you all.
Thank you. You too. Amazing. Amazing. I wish you well in your marriage.
Someone bought 5 coffees. Hi, Jesse. Greeting from Australia. Jesse, I have Jesus as my hermeneutic key. Everything I read in the scriptures and the events in my life, I use Jesus as a hermeneutic key to understanding. If it fits with Jesus, it is for me. If it does not fit with Jesus, it is not for me. God bless you, JLP.
All right. Thank you. I wish you well. Amazing.
Joe bought 2 coffees. Thank you for all you guys do. Love listening to the whole team. Jesse, Hake, Nick, Joel, Hassan. Keep spreading the truth.
We will. Thank you. Appreciate your support.
Bradley bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse, praise God for the work he does through you. It's amazing. I struggle with the big M. How can I overcome?
Greater is he that's in us and he that's in the world. What's the big M?
Well, he didn't call it the big M. I was censoring it.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
That's not the problem. The problem is you got to stay present and devices will be taken away from you. Don't fight with it. Try not to do it, but when you do, don't judge yourself. It'll be taken away. The heart change, device will disappear. Amazing. Thank you.
Henry Ford Lives gave a diamond. Big Mama Mike Michelle, which I disavow. What the?
Thank you.
And I think we're going to have to hold over the rest of the Super Chats for tomorrow. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. Amazing. I really, really appreciate it. Become your own man, your own woman. Get on that straight and narrow. Go and forgive. Go and forgive Father. Return to the Father. Do the silent prayer and just watch. There's nothing else to do. And do the word, do your practical stuff, and let life happen, folks. It's amazing. Everything you are, everything you want is in you. The Hake Report is coming up now. The Hake Report. Don't forget Hassan right out the Hake. And then the anchor baby. Charles, a first-time caller out of Florida, and other callers that are dropping. I'm out of time. Tomorrow is Bible Thumper Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Have a good one, folks.
Stand up, we got fighting to do. We gotta show him who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand to lose. You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
So you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know thyself so you get something went wrong, but and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can.
My silent prayer. And I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Other than sex, I wonder, why would a man even need a woman today? Women don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean. They're in competition with men. They don't want to be wives and mothers. Some want to get married, but they don't want to live in that proper position of life, because the only purpose of marriage is to have a family. And that's been known forever. And so if you don't want to have children, there is no need to get married. And so I was wondering, why would a man even get married today? I never thought I'd see the day when women would come out of her natural role and be like a man. Even though she hate that role. When she was with a man that's weak, she hate him. But if he try to be strong, she'll stop it. I never imagined that. You're seeing good destroyed and abnormal is presented as normal.
Thank you, Jesse Lee Peterson, for an excellent manhood hour. Thank you.